down, they're having a look at how they're. Hi guys. So in this short SOP, we are just going to study about how to name a campaign. So naming campaigns is an extremely important task, especially if whenever we get a new client or whenever we onboard a new brand, we just need to have a look at their campaigns. And if their campaign naming structure does not make sense, or we're not able to understand what's going inside the campaign just by reading the name, that means there's something going wrong. And how can you improve that? So I'll give you two examples. Now, for example, if there's a campaign known as ABC product keyword research or keyword digging or ABC product ranking, it makes sense that okay, it's a ranking campaign, but otherwise you have lesser idea about if it's running on broader phrase. I mean, ranking mostly runs on exec, but maybe he's not doing that. What's his, is he doing dynamics up and down? Is he doing, does he have 200% top of search placement? So ensure that whatever your campaign name is or whatever nomenclature you decide, it just by reading the name of the campaign, it makes complete sense what this campaign is all about. So, and you can just for the starter ones, for each one their own, they can name their, they can have their nomenclature as per whatever they think are the most important data points. But what you can do is start from the very top. So for example, the very first thing that you select in your campaign is either if it's a sponsored product or sponsored brand or sponsored display. So the first thing that you can add is, let's say SP. And then if it's a B2B campaign, you add that. If it's not, you do not need to add anything. Then you add the parent SKU if you've got like multiple variations, because in this way, in this one SKU we do have. So you add your parent SKU, then you add your child SKU. And if it is a shortened name, so for example, it's a mug brand, but you do understand that it's a black mug. So you can just name, instead of adding, let's say, the parent ASIN, you can say it's a black mug. And you can add the child ASIN as well, or child SKU, whatever you think is better, but have a unique identifier that what this campaign is all about. Now, if you've got multiple ASINs to that campaign, because some people do that as well, it's not recommended, but nevertheless, you can add those multiple ASINs. Now, if there are 20 ASINs being targeted, but of course there must be some strategy behind the targeting. So for example, if there are 20 variations of the same cup and that is being targeted under the same campaign, which is not recommended, but this is not a campaign creation class, what I would do is, if it's a cup, I will just add, okay, it's my 200 ml cup, different colors. So that way I understand that okay, this campaign is targeting my 200 ml cups. And of course, it could be a price point as well. So let's say it's a 29.9 in price point product, I just add that. But nevertheless, I do add something and then I move ahead. And then if it's an auto or if it's a manual targeting, so if it's an auto targeting, you type auto and then you type what kind of targeting are you doing as well. If it's a close match, loose match, substitutes, complements, or if you're doing all of it, you can say auto dash all. Or if it's a manual targeting, you type that it's manual, then it's exact phrase. Or negative product targeting, negative keyword targeting, you do not need to add that. What's your campaign bidding strategy? If it's up and down, if it's down only, if it's fixed bids, you type that. So just type up and down, or you type down only, or you type fixed. So you can actually like do, there's short forms as well. So if it's up and down, you can type it as UND, and down only you type DO, and for fixed bid you type FB. For us, we just do fixed, down only, or up and down. We do not do up and down, but nevertheless, this is how we name it. For placements, if you're adding any placement modifier, just add it. So if it's top of search 100%, you just write in TOS 100, TOS 50. So that then my CPC or then my bid. If my CPC is actually more than my bid, what's happening? Where am I spending it most? Because of the campaign name, you'll be easily able to understand what's happening, right? And so this is, I've just added it here. And if it's a portfolio, you can add it in the last as well, but you need to add the launch date of the campaign. That is very important, because for a lot of times, it's a very new campaign, your account manager is having a look at it, but because it's just a week old campaign, it's not sufficient data for you to go ahead and just take the decision of closing or opening that campaign, or keep that campaign on the continue, because you need to have more reference, right? So that's why launch date is also very important. So just a quick one, this is a nomenclature as well: SP, SB, SD, parentation, short as, if it's a short SKU name, then what's the match type, exact phrase, broad, what's the bidding type, and of course before that auto or manual, what's the bidding type, what's the placement, how many targets are there. So if it's a keyword targeting campaign, you need to add how many keywords are being targeted. If it's 15 keywords, you need to add that. If there's a certain search volume, so let's say you're targeting 10 keywords with 3 to 5,000 search volume, you need to add this 15 10 kws, of course 10 keywords dash what I was saying, yeah, 10 keywords and 3 to 5k sv, so that means 3 to 5k search volume. If it's the main keyword, you need to add 2 keywords, 15k search volume. So you have an understanding while having a look at that campaign. If for example you're bundling up lots of 500 search volume keywords, you can add it 20 keywords, 500 search volume. Because if someone sees that okay, it's 20 keywords and 15 to 25k search volume, or 1 to 25k search volume, I will think about that. Okay, in just one campaign he's added a keyword with 25k search volume and then 1k search volume, and it does not make sense. I need to take that 1k out or whatever out and add it somewhere else, just so there can be a search volume coherence as well in the campaign. And of course, daily budget you do not need to add because it keeps on fluctuating too. But start date, yeah. Once this is done, this is how you just name your campaign and then you launch it. It will make life extremely easier for you. So yeah, this was a short one. Thank you.